Hello, folks. Welcome to Toy Reel. My name's Jason the Bruce, and I'd buy that for $1. Like a lot of people from my generation, I have a strong nostalgia for certain franchises that I grew up in. But Robocop has been up the top since I was very young. It's kind of weird. I don't know about anybody else, but Robocop's one of these movies where I seem to forget how young I was when I first watched this. I mean, this is an R-rated movie, and I watched it much younger than I should have. Robocop is also one of those movies that, I mean, the name Robocop makes the movie sound really crap. It's really not. And if anything, it's a better movie today than it was when the movie was made. And I mean this wholeheartedly. It's a better movie today than it was when it was made. Just purely because a lot of the stuff that they were talking about and being worried about has actually come to surpass. It's actually come to be. I bought a whole series of these. I actually have opened Ed 209 previously on my Getting Tabled channel. This is the first time I'm going to be opening this. I've kind of been saving this for this occasion. And I also have a damaged version of this that comes with a chair that I'll be opening on the channel at some stage as well. Part man, part machine, all cop. This is one of, like, everything about the covers of these really tried to push the idea of this as being something really simple. And then it turns out to be much deeper than you think that it is. I love the fact that this basically looks like it's the original video cover. It's in the right shape and everything. You do get a window in this, which is, honestly, something I miss. I mean, yes, you get windows in boxes, but I kind of miss the whole door thing. You don't get that as much in toys these days, and I really like it. Neca seems to do this a little bit more than others. On the back, we get our obligatory product shots. So we do get an actual Murphy head. Basically, with this, you're being able to recreate everything you want from the originals. For the background, we get a bit of a dark alley. I mean, it kind of looks like a very random dark alley, but to me, I see this and I am seeing a man being shot in the crotch. That's what this screams of. So, getting a first look at our guy here. So, it's very much a metallic, which should have been obvious from the window, but yes, this is a metallic. There is a previous version of this that's like very light blues and stuff, where it kind of looks more like it did in the animated cartoon. But this is very much from the show, to the point where, like, you're even getting shading and stuff that kind of matches. NECA's really good with their details in their figures, making them quite accurate to screen. The articulation in NECA figures aren't always quite as good, though, which is fine. Like, there are different companies that have different levels. We'll go through articulation and what we get here in a minute. I'm already seeing quite a little bit more than I was expecting, if I'm honest. Probably an important thing to note is that... Oh, hang on. No, yes. The leg opens. Oh, great. Oh, that's fantastic. I probably wouldn't be opening that too much because I suspect that it will come loose over time. Basically, you push this back so far, and then you push the other one as well, and everything clicks back into place. I was about to say is that this leg isn't going to open up, but then I noticed that, so I'm happily surprised there. I do love this. That is a really nice touch, that is, actually having the pistons there. I love the detail in this. It's really, really nice. Really, really is. Robo booty. The detail on the armor is really, really spot on. It really works nicely. See, the head goes on quite nicely. I mean, my first instinct is to go, I don't know about this head sculpt, but you've got to remember that the head sculpt was altered because of the makeup that had to be done. And there's ways that they've made this look like it's stretched over, that therefore makes the face look unnatural. Because it's supposed to look unnatural. It's not. The interesting thing about Robocop is that this isn't actually his real head. There's actually metal behind this. This is his original face, but the whole rumor of they can just shoot him in the head and he'll be dead isn't actually true, because there's actually metal behind this. I really, really like this. And then we have his stabby fist. This is not articulated, but you wouldn't expect it to be. It's just a solid piece. This is kind of soft and flexible, which is good because otherwise this would be extremely fragile. So it means that this will actually stand up to being able to be used. This joint is insanely stiff. I don't know if you can hear that. It's insanely stiff, this joint. Does seem to have been a bit looser now that I've taken it off the one time. Let's have a look at the gun. Again, details are all there. Really nice. Fits in the hand quite nicely as well, as you would expect. Gun actually fits in the leg nicely. Yeah, there's no problem with that at all. Yep, fits in there nicely. It's a little bit fiddly. It seems to spring out just a little bit of the socket when you open it. So you just need to fit it back in there. But otherwise, you almost wouldn't, if it wasn't for this, you wouldn't even know that that happens. I do suspect that this will give out after time, though. Here's our other gun. This is the really big gun that gets used in the show, or the movie rather. This is the one that they blow up the car with, and Robocop does eventually shoot at one of the bad guys. As for the giant rifle itself, though, there really is no proper way for Robocop to hold it properly, unfortunately. His hand just can't get in there without doing this to make it work, and then he's not actually holding it properly. So that's a downside. It still looks cool. As far as display is concerned, he's probably just going to be holding it in some fashion. And lastly, we have this blast effect, which I almost forgot about because I accidentally knocked it onto the ground. My first impression of this was that it almost looked like it was covered in glue or something. It's like a translucent smoke, and it's not really until you get it on the gun that you can see why they've done it this way. It is also worth noting this only goes one way. It seems to have been molded around the gun itself, which is interesting. It doesn't plug in, it just goes on it. You just like shove it over the front of the gun, and that's the effect that you get. It actually is really cool. I really, really like this. The downside of this is it does only fit on his regular blaster. It doesn't fit on the giant one. So that is definitely a downside. But honestly, like, this thing looks really good. I'm actually really impressed with it. By itself, it kind of just looks a little odd. But once you actually get it on the gun, because it also doesn't go on straight, but it actually works really well. I kind of like the fact that it's at an angle like that because it doesn't look manufactured. It looks like it's just how it's come out. Let's get into the articulation though. So we've seen the inside of the legs already. The head is on a ball joint. So there's a lot of flexibility here in this head. Obviously it turns around as well, as you would expect. It goes up quite a bit, down quite a bit. I would say like this kind of has similar articulation to what the actual suit did. Arms actually have full rotation. There's also a little bit of flex that way as well. Elbows are tight, but they will do a 90, well, almost a 90 degrees. It's not quite. Again, that's the way the suit was as well. Mine are very tight, but these will turn. There's no articulation here in the fingers. Everything's the same on this side. This is, again, very, very tight. There is actually a little click to go in straight there. Legs go pretty much as far as you would expect. They don't go back as far as some other figures. The back is insane, though. Oh, hang on. I stand corrected. It goes all the way. I don't know why I couldn't get it to go that way all the way the first time. There is also a very slight movement there. I don't know if that's deliberate. I think it is. There seems to be like a little bit of leeway in there. And it does feel deliberate. Knees. You got a decent knee. You've also got a little bit of ankle tiltage as well. Not huge amounts. There is clicks in there as well. There's no ratchet joints in this. Just kind of clicking into place. There's no toe at all. So realistically, the articulation that you're having in this is what you would expect because it's what was in the movie. Your move, creep. Fact of the matter is that I'm a giant Robocop fan and I always have been. There was Robocop toys around when I was a kid. Apparently, I never saw them, honestly. But this is just phenomenal. Like, I'm really happy with this. Neca toys are not exactly known for their articulation. They are known for their detail. And this isn't a criticism. Like, you kind of know what you're getting into with certain companies. This is a fantastic toy. And as far as Robocop's concerned, right on the money. Really, really happy with this. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. There's more content incoming all the time. I will have another Robocop figure coming. If you would like me to re-show my Ed 209, let me know, because I'm quite happy to re-show that as well.
This episode of Toy Reel is proudly brought to you by Cool Toys Club and Joy Toy World.